What's up, everyone, and welcome into episode number 575, where it is my honor and privilege to introduce two special guests joining this episode, and those are Findlay wrestler Ashton Anderson and CMU wrestler Archer Anderson. Thank you both for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how's things been going for you guys? I know, Ashton, you just wrapped up your senior year of wrestling, your last year of wrestling, and then Arch, I know you just wrapped up your first year at Central Michigan.
Yep. It's been going good, just in summer training now. Our second day of summer training. So I don't know. Just keep grind, don't stop,
Exactly.
Oh, thanks for that, Archer. I'm glad your grind doesn't stop. But with that being said, my grind just came to a stop. After 19 years wrestling since I was 4, life has been different since March. So it's an adjustment for sure.
Yeah, you kind of look fat.
Not just on the scale, but also an adjustment in the way of life. It's different, not training every day, and different.
How do you think it would go now if you guys wrestled each other, now that you've been kind of away from wrestling a little bit, Ashton?
I still get them.
Archer, what do you think?
Obviously I believe in myself. And people always say, "Oh, the big brother always wins," but not in this case.
Not in this case.
Maybe now that he's probably like 160. 165, yeah. Maybe, shoot, that's pretty big. But I think I could still catch him.
Archer, have you ever beaten Ashton in wrestling, or is there still a day that you're waiting to finally beat him in kind of a practice that you guys have had?
I've beat him in some goes,
Okay.
Like a couple, I want to say. Very, very slim. Very, very, not often. Not often. But we also don't wrestle that often anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause, he's, he was in Findlay and I was in either high school or CMU, so we've always been kind of separated for past couple of years. Only on the holidays, pretty much.
Only on the holidays?
Yep. And I wouldn't say he's ever beaten me, but he's taken me down. I'll give him that. He's got a couple takedowns.
I know. I've won some live goes.
All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Has it been kind of hard being away from each other the last couple of years? Because obviously, like, you both have been wrestling for a really long time and you both really kind of grew up together through the sport.
I would say, obviously it's rough. Like, the way we were raised, like, family's like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, we're all three of us, our middle brother too, we're all really close. And, it's not easy being apart from each other because, you just miss them.
Absolutely.
And especially my two older brothers, like, they've helped me so tremendously with the sport. They give me good guidance too, so nice.
Yeah, to build off of what Archer said, he's coming at it from the little brother where, he's the youngest and, has had watched us, me and my brother Augie, growing up and being the youngest. I've been on the opposite side of the spectrum. So the oldest where, growing up, Archer was always there watching, but we're 4 years apart, so we never got to be on the same team. But our middle brother got to wrestle with both of us. And Archer, I will always remember in like 4th grade, 5th grade, Augie and I were always on the same dual teams. And Archer was like, I want to be on Ashton's team. And we're like, well, if it works out for 1 year in college. And he exceeded expectations and ended up deciding to go to Central Michigan, and I ended up at Findlay. So it didn't work out, but yes, we definitely miss each other, and I definitely love when we get to come home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and train together. Have all three of us in the room.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's very wholesome, and then not to mention like growing up, I had uncles to look up to as well. So I have multiple. I have three other uncles that were all state finalists or better and
Okay.
wrestled in college. So I kind of grew up with the same, mentality Archer did. Is like I want to be like them,
Yeah.
following in their footsteps. So it's a big, you got big footsteps and in our family to follow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say, Cheeto?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So basically, it's kind of like a family endeavor, like a sport that's been in you guys' family for a while, and obviously, kind of growing up with kind of having uncles that did the sport that had that success. Obviously, it probably motivated you guys to kind of get to that next level of being college wrestlers.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there was really not like a choice. Like I
Okay.
always say we were just born into the sport. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really have a choice. Like, it's the only thing I've known pretty much. And like, I played other sports, but like, it's like wrestling's always been like, you know, the uh, the number one focus, not the number one focus in life, but like the number one sport to focus on.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, for all three of all three of us, it was, oh, he can walk. All right, well, get his shoes on, send him to practice with dad. Because our dad also coached
Okay.
and wrestled himself as well. So we had dad would take us to practice and we'd be the youngest one there. So
So,
that
what
was
was it like growing up in a family like that through the sport of wrestling? Obviously, having the two of you, and then obviously the middle brother.
And like any disagreement or anything, we just wrestle pretty much. Still to this day,
Understandable.
we still do that. But we
first
also,
takedown is the best. It's the best settlement.
yeah, uh,
It
we
is. No.
we used to have wrestling mats in our basement.
Yep.
Um, we would go in there and practice all the time. Um,
Yep.
when we were growing up, it was fun. We'd also just go in there and roughhouse, like not even wrestling, just beating each other up, pretty much.
So, like brothers, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It was nice.
Yeah. You know, it was. That's where Archer got his physical and mental toughness. I could say for sure until now at least.
Hmm.
And now you can kind of give it back a little bit.
Yeah, pretty
I don't
much.
know. I mean, he's still got some time. I think, but I don't know. I might get humbled next Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see when I come home. June. Yep.
That'll be fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
was just going to say at that point, Ashton, you'll be out of wrestling for a little longer. Archer will still be at practice, so you might have to warm up a little bit. Might have to get back into it a little bit so you
It's
can
true.
continue to hold the spot.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely be able to out wrestle him like in the long run, just because I'll be in shape, and I know he's like probably just lifting. I don't know.
Playing pickleball.
But yeah, doing old people stuff.
Li- little bit different than wrestling, but
Oh, for sure.
obviously, I love that you guys still kind of have that competitive drive. Was there a specific kind of moment though early on that like kind of each of you realized like, hey, like the other one can be pretty good? Because I know Ashton, you specifically mentioned he kind of quote unquote like I don't want to say overachieved, but obviously going to Central Michigan being D1 is another level compared to D2.
Um, I mean, once in high school, like my freshman year, I placed. I took fifth as a freshman, and that was when I kind of realized 'cause I never got good until I was in like eighth grade. at least in
Okay.
my opinion, is when I started to turn up. But I grew a lot as a wrestler in 7th and 8th grade. My dad took us out to All-American Grappling Academy, where we trained under Ben Whitford, Pat Whitford,
Ah.
Mark Weber, and CC Weber. And those are probably some of the best coaches you can get. I mean, best coaches around for that time period. So that was really when we started to turn up. We all, for Archer, he was 4 years younger at that time, so he got 4 extra years of that. Where I went right into.
We went to Shaw too.
Yep, we went and
We
trained with
followed
Simmons
Ben
up
to
at Shaw.
Shaw, and then we met Nick
Yep.
Simmons.
Okay.
Nick was the coach for a minute. I've had a lot of coaches.
Yes, we've trained at a lot of places, but I mean that's what you need to do. You gotta always have a bigger fish.
Yeah.
There's got to be. I mean, it's hard to get better when you are the best in the room. So, which I mean, we've experienced that a little bit in high school as well. So, but no, once I placed my freshman year, I was like, okay, I can win a state title, and then I was like, okay, the younger ones are gonna be way better than me. Like they have to be. I was like, they have to be, right? Like, so I'm very happy with how Archer's done, at least to high school. He's still got some goals out of him, I'm sure, but
Yeah, a lot of work.
yeah.
But I kind of always just he was like kind of my hero. Not my hero, but he was my older brother. So I was like, I thought he was the best no matter what. I was like, yeah, he is gonna be a state champ.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always thought that. I mean, shoot, he should have done even. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that, but he knows what I was gonna say.
It's
But
alright.
I believe he was the best, and he could have been a 3-time state champ. You know,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. But I always just saw him as both of my brothers. I was like, yeah, they're really good.
So basically, you looked up to them as they were your heroes in wrestling. Then.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say heroes. You don't want to bump up their egos too much.
Leaders. There you go.
Leaders,
Leaders.
someone to look up to,
Yeah.
especially when I got into high school, because I wrestled with Augie, the middle brother. I would wrestle with him, and you know, I would look up to him. He really whooped me.
I think I'll say that I guess my favorite weekend memory of realizing that Archer, when I knew, I was like, all right, he's going somewhere better. He's gonna pass me up for sure. Was your freshman year at state when I got to coach, so I got to be down on the floor. Augie was down there, so we had all three of us, which that's the only time we've had that. 'Cause since then, I've had, our national qualifier at the same time as your state, Arch. So,
Mhm.
but I'll never forget, I don't even know, you were seated 12th or something low, and we made a game plan for every match. You went out there, did what you were supposed to do, beat 2 returning state finalists, and you ended up what did you take, 5th? Took 5th?
There were 2 returning state finalists.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I don't know, but you outperformed, and that was when I knew it clicked in my mind. It was exciting, because you came over and you just putting your head down and not wanting to get your hand raised, even though, you earned it. But yeah, that was fulfilling for me, knowing I was like, all right, he's going somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't really think I was doing that great because I was unhappy. I was just happy to not do worse than Ashton his freshman year. So I was like, hey, I'm on track. That's
I'm on track.
I was
Oh,
like, I'm
you
on
can,
track.
yeah.
I can do some good stuff.
See,
Yep.
Ashton is just pouring his heart out, just saying, "Hey, I'm so proud of you," and then Archer's like, "I'm just proud I didn't do worse than Ashton."
Pretty much. I mean, that's the way I was like. I was like, all
Oh,
right, I do bet. The whole goal was to do better than him, and then
yeah.
Absolutely.
I did.
You had some goals to pass me up, which I mean you need those. If you
Yeah,
don't have goals,
gotta
I
have
mean
something to work towards.
exactly.
I know, Ashton, you mentioned that was like the one time that all three brothers were in like one location, like either competing, coaching, helping out. How cool of a moment looking back at that is that? Like realizing like, hey, like that's that one moment that we can all say like we were there together at one, not only helping each other, but like supporting each other and seeing each other have success, even if it meant one of you guys being a coach and the other one's competing.
It was awesome. Definitely one of my like favorite wrestling memories. Even honestly, like I value that state tournament more than like my senior year state tournament, which it was COVID, so it was,
Yeah.
small. Like I don't even think Archer was there.
I wasn't. I was in Florida because it
Oh,
was during COVID. You only had like a certain amount of tickets.
yeah, you could
I
only get
was
like
last
4
on the
people
list.
in, so he wasn't even allowed to be there. It was small, it was split up, and so I kind of value um his freshman year um like above my, personal accomplishments just cuz as a coach, I got to coach both brothers. I hadn't been able to see him for I don't know, at that point it was 8 months or so cuz I had moved to college and
Yeah.
moved to Ohio. So that was awesome. That's definitely one of my favorite wrestling memories where we were all on the same floor, right? Because now it's like you can go, but you're not really allowed to be on the floor.
Exactly.
So, or it's not the same watching on the screen. The rest of like while he was in sophomore, junior, senior, I was at my tournament, at my national qualifier watching on my phone
Yeah.
right after coming off the mat. So it was a little bit of a roller coaster uh, for both of his state titles that he won.
Exactly. But obviously, that's like a moment that brought you guys together. I know wrestling has obviously brought you guys together, and we'll obviously get into wrestling a little bit more. But I know one thing else that is extremely important to both of you. Obviously, we've talked a little about family. We've talked a little bit about wrestling. Those are huge components of your guys' life. Like they're huge parts of who you guys are. They're huge parts of obviously the success that you guys have had. But another huge component of that is your faith. Just talk a little bit about what does your faith mean to you, and not only like obviously how it helps you in life, but really how it helped you not only through the transition through really kind of the difficult times in wrestling, but then once you eventually had to make the decision of where you wanted to wrestle in college.
Um, I'll share a little bit of background, I guess, quickly, but we grew up going to church. We learned about who Jesus is. Um, but it wasn't really until for me until the last couple years that I really grew strong in my faith.
Okay.
Um, so like high school, I kind of did it. Like I felt like I did it on my own. It wasn't like I wasn't as I wasn't filled with the Holy Spirit. I was kind of, living for myself,
Yeah.
definitely. Um, which is, reflecting on it, I reached like a goal in high school and then reflecting on college, it's a little different, but
Yeah.
regardless, I'll share one experience that may not answer your question exactly, but one of the goals that I reached in college, winning my conference tournament, was probably I'll say probably one of the best days that I've ever had. Not just, it didn't even have to do with my success that day. I just I was in a great season of spirituality, and I was filled with the Holy Spirit that day. I woke up, I was, down to weight, was joyful, was running around, warmed up to, some worship music, was running around being, joyful, praising the Lord, and didn't care. Like I wasn't wrestling for me. I just went out there and let it fly, and
Exactly.
I was win some, lose some, doesn't matter. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I knew who I was, and that day was kind of like the turning point in the season that I was going through. Which
Yeah.
ultimately that was, the peak for athletics, for me, in college at least. But um, then I go on and just miss qualifying for the national tournament, which it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, that wasn't the Lord's plan for me. I
Exactly.
trained twice a day, every day. I worked hard. I stayed true to who I am, stayed true to my faith, and put my faith in the Lord. And something good came from it. I got to share His
Absolutely.
word with many other dudes who also didn't make it, that came to speak with me after. So it was an awesome experience this last year. So it was spiritually fulfilling. And since
Love
then,
that.
I've been living for the Lord. So
Love that.
For me, I guess I mean, I guess I'll share an experience. I think it was my junior year. Like my whole goal throughout high school was like, oh, I want to be state champ. Like, that's what I was working towards. And when I worked so hard to accomplish that goal, and like when I finally accomplished it, I just felt like kind of empty. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
like I was like, I mean, shoot, I was super happy that night, and then like the next day I woke up and it was just like normal day. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. I remember feeling like just empty, like not unsatisfied. And I mean, I think like the hole that I needed to be filled. Yeah, that sounds kind of weird to say, but like like I was
Like
missing.
missing piece,
Oh
kind
yeah,
of.
I was missing the Lord for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
because I always like when I was younger, like we were raised, like we knew Jesus. I've known all the stories in the Bible. Like we got baptized when we were really young, but then I think literally after my junior year state title, I think that's what like really got me into it, like trying to focus on my faith, because like just that feeling of being like just really empty after
Exactly.
you know just the fulfillment wasn't there,
Yeah.
and that pushed me to look more into the Lord and like develop my faith more with the Lord and my relationship with the Lord more. And I actually got rebaptized.
Okay.
That I think it was my junior. Yeah, I think it was like in the summer going into my senior year.
yep.
Um, Shout out my cousin Vinny. I got
Nice.
I got baptized with him.
Oh,
But
that's awesome.
yeah, I guess I mean I don't know if it's like helped me like be better at wrestling, but I mean it's helped me be better as a person for sure. But I would say for wrestling is like just knowing that like at the end of the day, like the Lord loves me. My mom and dad still love me, and my brothers love like win or lose, like it doesn't really matter. Like
Exactly.
It doesn't change
and
who you are, and it doesn't change where you're going.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's
Yeah.
how I put it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that in my little piece, but no, that's how I think of it, Arch, and
So
that's really changed, how I prepared mentally, for matches.
yes, for sure. That's probably the biggest thing is being able to just go out there and wrestle without fear of losing, pretty much.
Well, and the cool thing too is, like, I remember in high school, like, you know, you're like getting good and you're wrestling somebody good and you're kind of nervous like going into it. And then I got to college and like once I switched that in my mind, that like it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, it's just a wrestling match. Like as boy Josh Barr says, this is just a game.
Literally.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just
Also, though,
immediately to switch.
sorry to cut you off, Ash.
Go
Also,
ahead.
though, college, like, everyone's good,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was wrestling this year. Is like, there was not a single person I wrestled that I was like, oh, wow, this guy's a pud, Or, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know why I said a pud, a chud. Like, I've yet to, like, I think pretty much every wrestling match I even out, like, like, an open, like, every kid in college is there for a reason, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, there's no easy matches. Even you get
no,
off the mat after
e
teching somebody and
single
it's like,
match
dang.
this year, every match is a grind. Even, like, I wanna say, um, at the state duel we had this year, I teched a kid in, like, the first or second period, and I came off the mat, like, my arms and legs were burning. Like, it was super hard, like, and I mean, the kid's good, but it was just, like, I don't know, it was just very difficult, or
Were you doing boots in that match, or were you
of
just
course,
taking
yeah,
them down?
Of course.
Of course.
yeah,
That
that's the
that
only
that
way
that's why. That's why.
That's why
was
your legs are sore.
Yeah, and I know that's one thing that both of you like to do quite a bit is leg ride boots. Have you guys switched at all, or are both you guys just kind of ways you guys wrestle like pretty still similar to each other just because of like that specific kind of approach in a match is when you take a guy down?
Well, I'll say we're very similar on top. I actually had teammates that watched Archer at the Michigan State Open this year, and they're like, "Oh, dude, we saw your brother. We knew he was your brother because he rides the same boot ride you ride, and he looks just like you." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I assume." But other than that, though, Archer's a lefty, so he's way better on his feet than I am. So
Okay.
he's got a better shot. He shoots lefty, and I do not. So on our feet, we're a little different, but on top, we ride very similar.
Okay.
I just wrestle weird on my feet compared to him.
Yes,
Sa
he
Same on
does.
bottom. I would say,
Unorthodox.
like, do more stupid things. Not stupid, just, like, risky and, like, just w unorthodox. I don't know. Some people say I'm fu
Where did you learn that? Like, where did you learn that an orthodox kind of way of wrestling, or was it more of like that's kind of the way you had to wrestle against them to growing up to even maybe get a takedown or get out of from bottom?
It's just
I no
funk.
clue. That's
No
just
clue.
I'm
Just
just
the
a kid
funk.
being
It's probably
outside.
from good. Arch, good.
What were you gonna say? I wanna hear what you say.
I was gonna say it's probably from us rolling around growing up, just always wrestling and like just rolling through our back, just trying to win. There was no points when we were wrestling. It was just you're trying to get out or you're trying to get on
Yeah,
top.
pretty
So
much.
we've
Sure.
we've rolled through our backs a few too many times.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
to get
Eh,
back to the boots, we
oh,
we grew up. We grew up watching my uncles, who were all boot riders. So they were in
Okay.
high school when we were growing up. So we would go watch them at their
hold on.
tournaments, kind
Hey,
of the state finals.
when you were growing up
Oh,
there,
when I was growing up, I
when I
apologize.
was up,
Archer
uh,
was a little younger. But so when I was growing up, and I was, 7, 8, 9, up through there, um, my uncles were in high school and they were, riding boots. Watched them at state, other tournaments as well. And so we just saw and did. Well, that's what I did at least. And I wasn't very good at it for a while. I would turn myself sometimes, but eventually I got better. And then Archer, I guess it was probably me he was watching do that. So it was a little bit of a
It was like
domino effect, if you will.
it's kind of like a family trait, I guess. Like if I put it
True.
out, like it's not that I was watching Ashton, but like also our uncles were like teaching us how to do it too. Like a big part of like the reason why I wrestled boots was because of my uncle Matt, Nick, and Nate. Like all of them, you know, they were all leg riding and they were really good, and they just taught us how to do it.
Yeah.
So really, the only
Mhm.
thing I've known to ride on top is a claw and boots, pretty much.
Yep.
Which most wrestlers hate going up against boots, and it's not really like that popular anymore. It seems like so you guys must be having fun, and the other people must be not having as much fun or hating that you guys are more of boots leg riding.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not good on bottom, it's not fun. But I mean, it's like Archer said earlier. I mean, in high school it's one thing, but once you get to the college level, like everyone is pretty good.
Yeah,
Even at the Division II level, there's definitely a gap between D2 and D1, but it's not as big as most people think.
Yeah, for
agreed.
sure.
And I'm sure. Well, Archer hasn't yet, but I'm sure at some point in Archer's career he may or may not lose to a Division II guy, and there are D2 guys that beat D1 guys. It happens,
There
but
are some lucky. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
I
just kidding.
know a D2 guy you lost to.
Who?
Me.
Shut up. Well, you're my older brother. So.
Different weight class as well. So
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm just
Yeah.
giving him some chin music because I also haven't seen him since what? It's been a while since Nationals.
Uh,
Probably
no,
since.
no, no.
Oh
He's
no,
still.
no, I saw you a couple weeks ago actually.
I pulled up.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Hmm.
right. Forgot.
Yeah. Every
But
once in a while, I'll come home. You know.
it definitely does. If you don't want to go down on a boot rider, typically.
You know, I had a. I'm not even trying to say anything, but in a match, uh, in the semis at Max, my conference, against a kid that ended up All American, I was getting like pretty whooped,
okay,
and I think it was his choice,
It
and
was like 12-4 or something.
it was like 12-4. I don't know, but he wouldn't choose down on me, so he chose neutral, and I got teched, but he
hey,
didn't go down, and he's an All American, so
sign of respect, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. I gotta get to like little. I gotta get to that level,
Yeah.
for sure.
I do want to put both of you on the hot seat real quick. And I don't know if I'm going to get an agreement on this question, but who's better at leg riding or boots between both of you?
I'd give it to Ashton.
Oh, okay.
I'd give it to Ashton
Okay.
because I'm I'm better on my feet. Uh, and we're both like I don't really know how to compare who's better on bottom. Probably him because I do more stupid shit. Excuse my language, but
You're good.
but yeah,
Oh,
more
the
stupid.
Archer things. The Archer things.
The
Gotta
Archer,
send
yeah,
with the
we
Archer
literally
things.
named it after me, Archer Things,
Yeah.
because
Shout
but
out David.
sometimes it works out, you
Yeah.
know.
Who came up
Um,
with this nickname, the Archer things?
Was
I
it
need to
David
know.
David Morgan?
no,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't even know who it was, but it was in the club. I was in
Wrestling
the club.
University. Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been David himself, or it
It
might have
was
been like,
definitely David, dude. Him or JP.
yeah, it might have been JP.
But now, if other kids on the team, I'm sure, are rolling across the back, they say stop doing archery things.
Yeah, he had me last time I came to practice. He had me show
What not to do?
a broomstick.
Mm.
So that was pretty cool.
There you go.
Um,
Awesome.
but yeah, I'd give legs to him.
Okay.
And I'm better on my feet, just a little bit. I can
Okay.
hit a high crotch and a single. He can only really hit a single. I'm working on a few quick takedowns right now too.
It's crazy, but it's true.
I did not expect to get an agreement on that question, but I'm kind of glad we did. So, obviously, both of you have had at least 1 year in college. Talk about kind of why you guys both went to the schools that you did. Obviously, Ashton, you ended up going to Findlay. Archer, you obviously just wrapped up at CMU. Talk a little bit about kind of your guys' decision and really that first year and kind of if you guys had any welcome to college wrestling moments.
Uh,
Well,
so I mean, I went to Central mostly because it was close to home, and also because of the head coach Ben Bennett. He's a
Okay.
legs guy. He's known for legs. So
Ah,
obviously, I'm gonna that he was one of the main reasons I went because, you know, he's got great skills and is a great coach and has really helped me develop my top game too. That sounds but my boots especially, I've learned a lot of new stuff from him and
good.
he's a really good coach. And for welcome to college moments, I would say my first start at 125, I wrestled James Moran, or wait, no,
Jacob
Jacob.
Moran. Yep.
Yeah. I forget his name, but I got teched in like I hadn't gotten teched in years, and I got teched in like the first period. I think it was
That
pretty
had to
rough.
be, I was just gonna say that had to be brutal to go from being kind of one of the top in the weight classes in your high school in Michigan to going to that from being tech. Like that's like a real rough moment, but I'm sure it probably happens to majority of wrestlers.
Yeah, it was a rough. It was definitely a like a wow. Okay, that's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
but
All American though.
yeah, I mean, what did he take, like, 6th or something, 5th, something?
Um, I think he took 6th.
No, he might have took 4th,
Might have.
Mm,
or
I
I
can't
don't
remember. I know he made the semis. He's at least
yeah,
top
I know.
6.
4th through 6th, I don't know which one, but his, you know, stud,
Yeah.
uh, obviously, but it was, like,
Match.
uh, my first real match pretty much, 'cause we went to the MSU Open, but
Okay.
Opens are, like, not yeah, a freshman division,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a shocker for sure.
Absolutely.
So I graduated in 2021. Um, so that was right coming off of COVID. Um, I know, I wanted to stay close to home. I wanted to be within, like 5 hours probably. Um,
Yeah.
but the tough part for me was it was COVID. So like you had to wear a mask everywhere. You had a lot of the schools that I was, talking to, my junior and senior year, they weren't allowing visits at the schools.
Okay.
Which was mostly the Division 1 schools, but which is part of the reason why I, decided to go Division 2. But I took a couple of visits D2. They let me on campus, and I found one that was close. My uncle actually, it was his last year there, so that helped a
Okay.
lot too. And then my coach, Sean Nelson, half man, half Nelson. He's hilarious. I immediately connected with him on my visit, and also he didn't plan it, but had me and a kid that I was friends with on a visit the same day. Both didn't know we were going, and we both decided like a week later that we were going to commit, and that we were going to be roommates. And that's Gary
Love that.
Nielsen from Utica
Okay.
Ford. But so that's one of my good buddies that we just happened to be at the same place at the same time, and both got a great deal, and you know we're like, hey, let's do this thing together. So
It's
we
like it was
did.
planned. It's like it
Yeah.
was planned.
So it just worked out really well because I stayed within 2.5 hours from home. Um, and all this came together during COVID, like the end times of COVID. So it was luckily my team at Findlay, we weren't forced to get vaccinated. A lot of the other teams, it was a requirement. I was like, hey, if you're gonna come here, you got to be vaccinated, if you want to wrestle. So
Yep.
that was another big thing. We're very homeopathic based family.
Okay.
So we stayed away from the vaccines, and so yeah, you got half man, half animal. You got Nelson, and then my uncle and my roommate Gary. So those three things all
Love it.
came together like the same week, and the Lord put me there for a reason. So yeah, and then my welcome to college moment, first college match. I wrestled a kid from Ohio State, um, Will Bentoncourt, I think his name is.
Okay.
I think I think he's at Ryder now, but
Mhm.
I wrestled him first match, and that was the longest first period ever. So in high school, it's 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. College, it goes 3, 2, 2. And
Yep.
that first period, I remember feeling like I had wrestled a whole match, and I looked up, and it was 1:22 still on the clock. And that was when I knew. I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
I was not gonna make it. And after that, I was like, all right, I'm doing extras. I gotta push myself so I don't feel, exhausted in the first period. Change the style of how I wrestle. So that was my
Exactly.
welcome to moment college.
Yeah, like everyone has that type of moment. It's a different kind of setup. It's a different type of competition. I know both of you have kind of mentioned just that everyone at college D3, D2, D1, like everyone's good. Everyone deserves to belong there. Everyone's state qualifier, state placers, state champions. Like that's just kind of the way it is. And obviously, having a little bit of a background with uncles that have wrestled in college obviously probably really helped. And then obviously, for you, Archer, obviously having Ashton be able to wrestle a couple of years at Findlay before you got to CMU, I'm sure that probably not only helped you, but I'm sure it probably helped just everyone in general.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I was definitely used to getting my butt whooped by them, and when I got to college, it was kind of no different. Like it was basically like I was just getting my butt whooped. I mean,
Yeah.
even in like I showed up last year in the summer, and I don't think I started wrestling. I started practicing. I want to say like
Mhm.
June 1st, June 3rd, maybe.
Okay.
And I don't think I scored a single takedown or won a single go until like October, late October.
Interesting.
So I was getting my butt whooped for literally a long time.
Couple
It was,
months.
it was a long time. I'll just say that.
Hey, got you better. And then obviously, Ashton, you mentioned like having to wrestle an Ohio State wrestler. I'm sure that probably wasn't necessarily fun, but then obviously both of you kind of got your feet wet a little bit, kind of got a little bit of an understanding of what it's like to wrestle in college. And I want to kind of get into that a little bit before we kind of wrap up with a couple last questions. How different? How much improved did you guys kind of like notice yourselves being once you entered college wrestling through that first year, through your 3 or 4 years, especially for Ashton's side of things?
Um, for me, when I came in my freshman year, I think I was probably in the best shape that I've been in. Um,
Okay.
Wrestling wise, I was wrestling at a very high competitive level. Unfortunately, in December of my freshman year, I tore my hamstring, and I didn't come back to wrestling. I mean, it was a long recovery, and then I
Yeah.
just was never the same. I mean, I came back and wrestled still at, obviously the D2 level, but I don't think that I ever wrestled as well as I did my first semester at school
Okay.
since, which obviously I've been through. Well, I say obviously. I've been through multiple other injuries throughout
Yeah.
college, so it's brutal. And that's the thing about college wrestling that is probably like the worst because the season is so long. It starts in
Yeah.
you start November is like first competition. You start practicing, I mean, for these guys, they're the D1 guys, they stay all summer. We don't.
Pretty much all
We
year. Pretty
Yeah.
much practice all year.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not super typical. I say we don't stay over summer. So we start up like October, and then we're done in March. And I mean that's a long year. And at the end of the year,
Yep.
it's not really who's best. It's kind of who's in the best shape.
Yeah.
Who's
I mean,
healthy?
who's healthiest. Because I mean,
Exactly.
there's multiple dudes that were undefeated, ranked number one in the country all year long, and then you know, don't even make it out of regionals. Don't even make it to the national tournament. I mean, we saw it
Yep.
this year with 125 pound weight class. It's
What are you talking about?
it happens. For Division
Talking
Two,
about two?
D2, yeah.
Okay.
But it's just common because of how
Yeah.
brutal the season is.
Absolutely.
So I mean, you know, I wrestled I think 20 matches this year, and I was out for half the season.
Yeah.
Like it's a long season, so if
Yeah.
you can outlast the season and wrestle your best at the end and peak at the right time, that program you guys are doing something right.
Exactly. I was also talking to a future teammate of yours not too long ago, Archer Zeke Seltzer,
Oh
about
yeah,
that
I saw
a
that.
little bit on his episode of just how he feels that the wrestling season's too long. Like it's like a couple months too long, and it's one of those things of like it would be nicer to have a little bit of a shorter season to stay healthier.
It would definitely be nice if they cut it down just by 1 month. Have
Yeah.
Nash end of February.
At
Because I
least,
feel like
yeah.
what? What are you saying, Ash?
No, you said 1 month. I said at least 1 month, right? I
Oh
mean,
well, I was.
wrestling's like I
It just
believe it's the only 2 semester sport
I agree.
like
in college. I think. In college, I think.
also the NCAAs the tournament is going on during March Madness too, so
Yeah.
that also takes a lot away from a lot of the viewership and a lot of the hype as well. I feel like if they maybe shortened the season a little bit and it wasn't during March Madness, a lot more people would watch it. Maybe not a lot more, but a lot more people would definitely watch it and it would get more hype.
Yeah. And it also might get more people involved in the sport as
For
well. It's a sport that truly has been around for a really long time. It's obviously a sport that has brought a ton to you guys, to your family, obviously meant a ton to you guys as well. So I'm going to kind of wrap up with a little bit of that, little bit of like what the sport of wrestling means to you, but just talk about like why people should join wrestling, why people should really kind of just get involved, and what does your family's support mean to both of you as well?
I'll
Um,
say reason why people should join wrestling is because once you wrestle for like at a competitive level, not even college, just like in high school, everything else just seems easier. Like I'm gonna be totally honest.
Yeah.
Like wrestling is probably one of the most hard, like probably I would say like in high school it was like the hardest thing. And then now that I got to college, it's definitely the hardest thing like ever, you know?
Agreed.
I probably the most physically demanding sport out there. I mean, I want to say,
Yeah.
and you know, so uh I mean that's my take. It means everything. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be wrestling in D1 or even in college wrestling without my family supporting me. Honestly, I'd probably be like working or doing construction or something. I don't know. So yeah, pretty much without my family support, I don't really know where I'd be.
Love that.
Yeah, pretty much nothing without it.
Yeah, I was I was gonna say, I mean, something pretty similar to what I said. We're very similar, if you can't tell.
Little bit. I can
We
tell
get
at
this a
least.
lot where it's like, oh, you guys are same tendencies, whatever. But no, it's wrestling is I mean, Rudis third tagline, right? It's a way of life. It really is, because
Yeah.
you live differently. And I mean, he touched on the sport in general, but like just the behind the scenes, the stuff that you don't even, the people that don't wrestle, that they don't see.
Yeah.
That's where, the character's built, is behind the scenes. It's not, competing. That's the fun. That's the fun, and that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, you know, training, until you're exhaustion, and training, when you're 20 pounds lighter than, what you were a month ago, or what you were at the beginning of
Exactly.
the season.
I'll say
Diet.
sorry, I cut you off again. I'm
Hey, hey,
horrible.
hey, go
But
ahead, dude. You take the show, Mr. D. Warner.
I had a good idea popping. Uh it's a lot of work for a little glory, you know?
Agreed.
And that's like and sometimes no glory if things don't go your way. So because you kind of reminded me like behind the scenes, Ash. Like, I mean, no one really sees that behind the scenes. Like, oh, everyone's working hard, pretty much. At the college level, everyone's working hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody's doing doubles. I mean, you know,
yeah,
you're all working out twice a day and eating way
hmm
less than you should, and a lot healthier than the average person. So,
Yep.
at the end of the day, one thing one of my buddies always said that it makes me laugh. But he's like, "No, I'm for real." He's shout out Presley Pierce. He's like,
I remember.
"Dude, you're a college wrestler. Think of the average person. Multiply them by like 5, and you're still not a college wrestler." And he just cracks me up, because it's one of my
Love that.
buddies I wrestled with in high school, and he hypes me up way too much. But no, really, it is a way of life. You you the character development is through the roof. No other sport is gonna, create the character and the hard work ethic that, wrestling will. It does a
Agreed.
lot for you. It really
Or
does.
push you to like the breaking point. Like, you get broke quite a lot,
Yep.
quite
Yeah.
a lot. And
Yep.
Yeah, it
so,
truly tests who you are. It truly
Mhm.
tests like who you are, who you're going to become, and it really formulates who you are today. And like you both kind of mentioned, like it's a sport that makes things easier in life. You're going to deal with adversity in life. It might not be
Mhm.
exactly the same thing you deal with the wrestling, but you've gone through the toughest practices. You've gone through the weight cuts. You cut you've gone through just the toll that wrestling truly can take on you, and it almost makes things seem a little bit easier that you're like, I've gone through these difficult times, I've gone through these difficult things. If I can go through that, I can get through this.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, even now, I'm done, sadly. Well, gladly, sadly. Glad to not have to cut weight, but already miss, competing. I'm working and it's definitely different, but it's not as tough. Like, cutting the weight and being, mentally exhausted, for weeks on end is not how I have to operate anymore. It's definitely an adjustment, but it's easier. It's a lot less complaining for me. I'm been known for a D1 complainer. And Archer's known to be a D1 hater.
And Archer still has 3 more years left to go. So, and obviously, I hope it's a great 3 years.
Yes, I'm excited. He could have
4.
3. Could have 4, yep.
4 with the red shirt. Oh, and now the 5 for 5 as well.
5.
Yep, for sure. So hopefully that gets passed, and I think that'll be better for the sport because, I mean, I wrestled with a kid. I mean, he was 27, same grade as me.
That's crazy. No, thank you. I'm good.
Shout out Coach Gramps.
Nice. I do want to put you guys on the hot seat. One last question, then we'll kind of wrap it up because we're running a little bit long on time, and I do apologize about that. Obviously, your guys' season just wrapped up. What is the dream meal? What's the first thing you eat after your last wrestling match of the year?
Duff's, the wings we had in Buffalo.
Oh, Duff's. We went to it was right after Archer's last match this season. We were in Buffalo for the MAC conference tournament, and we went to Duff's Famous Wings in Buffalo. And wasn't what I was dreaming of, but what I would be dreaming of probably afterwards. It was very good. If you're ever in Buffalo, Zach, go to Duff's.
Sounds really good.
I was mostly just kidding on that. I mean, not really. Like, it was honestly amazing, but like my go-to, ooh, I gotta think. I'm a big barbecue chicken pizza guy.
Ooh, I like barbecue
Big
chicken pizza.
barbecue chicken pizza. And Grater's ice cream. A pint of Grater's ice cream. It's what I had after Max as well. I had a pint of Grater ice cream.
What flavor?
I had
We-
mint cream Max, but my favorite flavor, I gotta say, is probably like their chocolate chip cookie dough is really good.
Okay.
I'm a big ice cream guy.
Our family is big
I shouldn't
ice
be.
cream
I
fan,
shouldn't be. I should never eat ice cream again. But
Probably not.
yeah. But
That's awesome.
tastes too good sometimes, you know.
Absolutely. 100%.
To finish this off, I'll say during season, I really would look forward to. We're a big venison family. I really love cooking, searing a venison steak with like any type of carb on the side. But bread's a big thing, so I cut that out during season. So there's a place in West Bloomfield that I've gone to. I think it's called West End. They have a short rib grilled cheese sandwich that comes with mac and cheese on the side.
Interesting.
It's on sourdough, Arch. I'll take you there next time you come home. It is one of the best sandwiches I've ever had.
I might have to lock in. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't worry, we'll go June 3rd or whenever you said you're coming home and take me down.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, really appreciate both of you joining. I know obviously we went a little long, so like I said, I do apologize about that. But it's been a ton of fun. Obviously, congrats on a great career, Ashton. Good luck in
Thank
your
you.
career, Archer, as well. Really appreciate you
Okay.
guys joining.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks for
Thanks,
having
Zach.
us. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And one thing I always say to anyone that ever joins is if you guys ever want to come back on, the door is always open. We can always do this again if you want to talk more wrestling. But yeah, no, really appreciate you guys joining. And thank you everyone for tuning into this episode. And that is a wrap to episode number 575. Thank you again to Ashton and Archer for joining, and tune in to the next episode.